it. So like, that's nice.
Man, she has some good friends. If I made a movie,
Yeah.
it could be the best thing since sliced bread, and all my friends would be shit talking it forever.
Yeah. Ooh. A lot of games on sale on GOG for Black Friday.
Oh, good, because we're probably going to end up talking about a lot of that, given the fact that I struggle to find too much to talk about otherwise, and we did already say we'd probably cover some Black Friday sales.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm excited about stuff.
yeah, we are live. Welcome to the Vomitorium, everyone. As always, I'm your host, Metal, and joining me is my co-host, Marsupial Gamer. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I just, gotta try not to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, I've got spaghetti.
I laughed and then got stuff all over me. I'm doing all right. I'm doing good.
Excellent.
I had a late lunch. I was out running errands and picking up a prescription and doing all this other stuff, and decided to stop by Chipotle and had a burrito. I had a half a burrito.
Half a
Being
burrito?
very
That's
good.
not even much of a lunch.
No, it was fine. It was enough, and I kept the other half and put it in the fridge, and so that'll be my later dinner, I guess.
Yeah. This is my late
Chipotle.
breakfast, I'm going to consider, since I've only been up for 2 hours. So I'm still going to say this falls into the breakfast line, especially given the fact that I didn't eat, so I'm breaking my fast no matter what.
Yeah.
I've noticed
But I did
that typically, I haven't hit that stage yet, but I'm looking at my dad, who obviously has like 27 years on me. As you get older, you tend to start to eat less. He hardly eats anything at all, and he's like fine for the day.
Yeah, well, your metabolism gets slower, and I'm living proof that if you don't eat less when you get
It
older,
just starts to build up.
you can run into some trouble there. But yeah, I'm being very disciplined and basically cutting all my meals in half. I'm down 50 pounds officially.
Oh, that's
5-0.
great. That is a that's the hard break point, right? Because typically, let's say like if you lose the first 20, you will probably lose the first 50 if you stick to it. If you lose the first 50, everything else is smooth sailing from there because you're probably already developed the habits to lose the rest of it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, I sadly, to my extreme, I don't know, embarrassment, I guess, I was literally 100 pounds overweight. I was as 285 was my high. That was last August, September of last year.
Yeah.
And I'm down to 235, and hopefully we'll get down to 185 when when all is said and done. So I got 50 more to go.
Yeah.
Might take me another year, but that's all right.
Hey, no, that's fine.
We'll get there.
Again, it's all about habit building. That's like that's half of the reason why those Biggest Loser shows that people never keep the weight off. I think only 3% of all of the contestants who have ever been on it end up keeping the weight off. Part of it is their body doesn't adjust, right? They lose it so fast that like they still have the gut biome that wants the things they used to eat, and they still have like the drive to have as much calories as they did just because of a short amount of time. But the other one is that they just never built the habits to keep the weight off. So they went through this huge purge, and their life habits still want them to be doing the things that they were doing before.
Yeah. No, it's been I'm not trying to do something extreme and lose 50 pounds in 2 months or something. I'm doing it
Over time.
slow and steady. Yeah, keeping track and everything. And what's funny is I think it was last week I ran into somebody who I guess somebody that I run into like every other week is a receptionist, but a friend of ours that works at this place that I take Peach every other week for physical therapy, and she said, she looked at me and she said, "Oh, have you been losing weight?" And then she's like, "I'm sorry, was that rude?" And I'm like, "No, that was really nice. Thank you for noticing." So somebody noticed. So that was nice.
Yeah, though, like, I noticed that the only people ever ask if it's rude are women. And I think it's because most people can't get in each other's heads, right? That's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So women think it's rude because they would find it rude if you asked them that, right?
Yeah.
Because then that
Or
would
I guess
mean,
maybe-
oh, it was noticeable before, right? But men, on the other hand, get so few compliments that if you give them any compliment, they're like, no, thanks. I've been trying.
Yeah. That's nice that you noticed. It's like, I can't tell because I look at myself almost every day.
Yeah.
So it's just so gradual. I can't really tell. But then, on the other hand, this is somebody who I see at least twice a month. So, but the fact that it's noticeable, I guess.
Women don't want you to notice. They want to notice it themselves, then they want to point it out to you, and then they want you to politely say, it's like, "Oh, I never noticed."
You looked great before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still look great now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, I mean, it must be noticed. I mean, you can't lose 50 pounds and not notice it. Certainly my pants have noticed. My belt keeps having to be tightened. So yeah, I was watching Nick Rekieta last night. Is either last night or the night. I think it might have been last night. Just when he gets drunk and goes on these ridiculous rants, and he was just ranting about women being fat just in general. Like he has before, but a little bit. But he just went off. He was showing off some woman who was in the Miss Universe pageant or something. Oh yeah, it was Miss Nepal, which I don't understand.
If you're in Miss Universe, you should not have any like real weight to you. Like, actually, I think in general they should be a little more curvy than they were historically, right? Because they were only twigs up there, and I'm like, that you're almost cutting some countries out, right? Like, you're gonna try finding a nice Brazilian woman who doesn't have some curves to her, right? But like, the way it's getting now is ridiculous because they have that whole body positivity shit and stuff on there, and it's just like half of these women aren't even pretty.
Yeah. Well, Rekieta would disagree with you. He would say that the way they were before was perfect. They're exactly the right size.
No, actually, I don't think those people should not be in there. I think we should have just widened it a tad bit.
Yeah. Well, for some reason, Miss Nepal is, what do you call it? Zofty.
Yeah.
Or whatever. she's
Zofty.
A bit plump, we'll say. But yes, that just set him off. I mean, like for an hour, the dude was just ranting. It's like, oh my god, dude. Okay, we get the picture.
Well, yeah, because there's a difference between a woman who has kind of like a natural healthy curves, right? Like they're maintaining their body, but they're just a curvier woman. There's nothing they can do about it. Versus Zofty.
Yeah. Zoftig.
Mm-hmm.
With a G.
Well, with a G. Zoftig. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know.
I don't know. I just find it strange that for like the 50th year in a row, Earth won Miss Universe. We gotta step up the competition out there.
Definitely. Well, apparently, and I guess I hope she doesn't mind, but he shared the fact that his wife is a size 0, and which I guess is like a 24-inch waist or something like that.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I have no comprehension in my head what a size 0 is. It's
very, very svelte woman, and he just thinks that all women should be like that. I'm like, okay, well, that's not normal. I mean, that's not normal, but it's not. I don't know, not the average, or it's never been the average. I don't think.
No, I think even when on average women were
wrong
skinnier,
with
it was somewhere between like a 2 and a 3 was kind of like the ideal body size that people are shooting for. I still had no idea what that meant, other than the fact that I would see pictures calling themselves a 2 or 3. But I remember those are the sizes people were shooting for.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know either.
I'm fine
I
up
feel
to
like
6.
they do that.
I like a little more cushion for the cushion, but I don't. I like it when women still look like women. Once you start getting out of that range, that I'm gone. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't quite know that either. Like, I have no idea what dress size.
Yeah.
Like Peach is or ever has been. Like, I know she wears like a size small shirt, but it's because she's a small, 5'7" girl. Well, that's actually kind of tall for a girl.
Yeah.
But
I think the average woman in America is like 5'4". Now, that's probably dragged down a lot because of the Hispanic influx to the America, and that's probably why the average is 5'4", but I think it's 5'4".
Yeah. I mean, I think that's been about the average for a long time.
And I think the average man used to be 5'9" a while ago. I think it's been dragged down to about like 5'7" to 5'8" now. I think it's probably 5'8".
Yeah, and all these women are like, I won't date anyone under 6 feet. And I'm like, but you're okay, you're cutting out like 95% of the population.
Yeah. I think
really?
As the curve goes, 6 foot up. It's a little higher than it used to be, but that's like less than 15% of the population. Yeah.
Yeah. I could look it up. What percentage U.S. men are 6 feet?
We do have I think a higher proportion than most countries, just because we have a lot of food, so we can get people to their max range.
But you're actually almost right on the money. It's 14.5% are 6 feet or higher or taller. Interesting. Yeah,
I periodically look up this information for arguments. The big one was, off the top of my head, I happen to know like the average sizes for women in Japan, which is because that conversation comes up periodically. I think Blue Protocol was the last time we talked about it, when they were complaining about them removing the size because it was for lollies. I'm like, no, the size you removed is the average woman in Japan.
Now, this is... Okay, wait. Is this average in the U.S. or worldwide? How tall is 69 inches?
69 inches. Well, that would be 5'9".
5'9".
Yeah, because 60 inches is 5 foot.
Type for males. Okay, so this is, for some reason, Google comes up with the average, must be worldwide. So worldwide, the average male is 5'6".
Okay.
And the average female is 5'2".
Yeah, I've looked at the American stats before, and I know for a long time it was about 5'9" for men. I believe it's estimated that it's dropped an inch, and part of that is because of migration.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. So, you want to know? It's totally getting off on a tangent, but who cares? We don't have a lot of topics today anyway.
Yeah.
No, this can't be right.
What does it say?
What? Okay, international. The range of average male heights across the world is quite broad. It's showing Japan as taller than the United States.
I thought 5'7" was their average man in Japan.
What the? Yeah, I don't know about this.
I've looked up Japan. It might just be bad sourcing. But when I looked up Japan, the man's average height was 5'7", and women, I think they actually had gotten as high as 5'3", like they're closing in on ours. It used to be 5'2".
Yeah. Well, I'm seeing the latest is 5'9" is the average in the U.S. for men.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, it estimated, I've heard from people that it might have dropped an inch, but 5'9" has been what it's been, so if it still says 5'9", I would believe that.
Yeah. Although apparently the average height of men in the Netherlands is 6 feet.
It is. Yeah, so there are
Holy crap.
very few countries where even their proportion of 6 feet and up people are bigger than ours, and most of them are the ones where the average height is 6 foot. The Scandinavian areas have a higher percentage of people above 6 foot than we do.
Yeah.
There's a couple of the actual prospering African countries where it's higher, and that's only because they have the food sources now. Most African countries is actually lower than average because they're starved, right? Everybody thinks about like Olympic athletes being black and that they're usually taller, but it's like, yeah, but a lot of them grew up here, and that's why they're taller. If you grow up in an area where you're malnourished, you're not going to hit 6 foot, no matter what your range is.
Mm-hmm. Well, Bermuda is mostly like African.
Yeah, of descent. They were. It was mostly
people,
slaves that were
right?
brought over. Yeah.
And their average is 5'10".
Yeah. So a few of the Caribbean areas are like that too, because they were people of African descent who have the genetics to get them up there. But also, the Caribbean islands are plentiful in resources these days due to trade, and they're functionally first world countries.
Yeah. Well, very interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what that first article I was looking at where they got their data, but it was just wrong. But yeah, United States women averages 5'4".
Yeah. That's what I thought. For the longest time, it's been 5'9" and 5'4".
Alrighty then.
Yep.
And ladies, you should be a size 0, apparently, according to Nick Ricada.
Aim for a 3, if you can fit it.
Okay.
If you can fit it. I don't know. So, like, because that's the problem, is that everybody comes in different shapes. There's always been the problem with the supermodel thing, right? Where they want, like, these women who are close to 6 foot and have, like, no hips and nothing. And it's just like, yeah, but not everybody's shaped like that. Like, most people couldn't fit that shape even if they starved themselves. Their hips are naturally too wide, right? Just find something that's comfortable and try. Just try to maintain yourself. And honestly, 99% of guys will be happy.
Yeah. Well, I guess, I mean, the sort of at least when I was younger, I guess the ideal measurements were always 36, 24, 36.
Yeah.
That was like the ideal. But that apparently, those measurements equate to a size 0.
Yeah.
Interestingly. Or maybe like a 00 or something like that. I don't know. Women's sizes. What's funny is like men's size pants just equate to how many inches around you are, right?
Well, that's what those other measurements are, right? It's just because women take in more measurements. We're kind of flat for the most part. We only need that one measurement.
Yeah, I mean, we're either, like pants, if you're a size 34, then you have a 34
Well, there is a second measurement we have to pay attention to. Insane.
Height.
Yeah.
Right. Basically. Yeah. Or you're just, small, medium, large, extra large, triple X.
Well, that's the thing that's funny is like, because I had the same inseam as one of my friends who's much taller than me. And I wear a size 30 waist with a size 32 inseam. And they're like, what, the size 32? It's like, yeah, I'm all legs. I'm all arms and legs. I've got like barely any torso.
Yeah. That's funny because I'm like a 32 as well.
Yeah, like, I'm telling you, like most of my height is just my legs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like I haven't bought pants in a while, which I'm still kind of waiting to get back down to at least a 34 before I get new pants. But yeah, I have worn in the past a 34 and 32 height or inseam basically. Yeah, weird.
Yeah, like I think my best friend since like the 3rd grade. He's like 6'1", and our inseam is not that far from each other. Mm-hmm. And it's just I think it maybe have an extra inch or something on the inseam, and I just have long legs and no torso.
Yeah. Speaking of like women giving compliments or men not getting a lot of compliments, when I first met Peach in real, in person because we talked online for a long time before we met.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like when I first met her. At some point, I had recently lost weight at that point, and I think I was around 190. But I had almost all like size double XL shirts
Mm-hmm.
because when you're above 200 or so, XL is the proper size. But they were all kind of baggy, and she all she said to me was, "You should wear a size down. You should wear size large shirts because." You'd look better with a tighter shirt on, and I consider that like the best compliment I've ever gotten.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll never.
Well, in general, most guys would look better with a tighter shirt on. Right.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, you want to wear the baggy shirt because you kind of want to hide your form, like that's the instinct, but it actually should be the other way around.
Yeah, I thought that was really nice that she said I would look nice if she could see the shape of my body. I was like, oh, that's a really nice thing to say.
Well, that was actually one way I knew that I was finally hitting like a healthier weight, or more of like a goal. I've always technically been a healthy weight, but I've been on like the low end. I had a shirt that I'd had since like, I don't know, middle school or whatever, and it was like a size small because I always wore adult smalls, even if they were like a blanket on me when I was really young.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wearing it, and it always fit just fine, even though I prefer mediums. But one day I was doing a live stream, and somebody hopped in and like, that shirt is way too tight for you. And I just never noticed before. I'm like, you know what? That must mean I'm finally gaining some weight if that shirt is way too tight.
Yeah. Well, I think this is an XL, and it's still okay, but yeah, it'll be nice when I still do have some large sizes. So. Yeah.
Speaking of shirts, the only sponsor this show has is my other projects. You all should buy my shirt. You can find it on Teespring. You can find it on our Twitter. I guess I could drop the link in the chat. I don't know how much of a difference that'll make. We lose the chat after I crop the ends off anyway. But until the 15th of December, I am putting out a Zeba, the mascot of X Times Chaos pattern shirt. The design will be gone on the 15th, nuking it, so you only have that long to get it. One of the reasons I went with Teespring instead of Redbubble, which I used to use. Redbubble's been fucking over their people, while Teespring, I actually think, slightly increased the amount that you get. I'm getting like half of the worth of the shirt for it, so it's actually pretty good. I'm getting like, maybe not even half, maybe a third, but I'm getting like $10 for every sale of the basic shirt. So, and you can get other things. I just slapped on everything. You can get a shot glass, whatever you want the pattern on, and then it's gone after the 15th. So yeah.
So where do I find it? Is it on your
Teespring.
Twitter, or are you gonna post it?
I put it on my Twitter. I've retweeted it with the Vomitorium's Twitter.
Okay.
It's in the Discord. I've put it everywhere. Here, I could drop it. That's another thing. I could drop the link anyway because Discord saves it. Even if YouTube loses it, people can always find the link in Discord. Let me grab that. Here we go. I'll put in the live.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Did I tweet? I didn't even retweet this. Gosh.
I think you retweeted my post about it.
Maybe one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I made several posts. I think you retweeted my quote tweet is probably what you did.
Okay. Yeah. Zeba.
Yeah.
Zeba.
No, Zeba. Like Hebrew
Zeba?
for color or dye.
Okay. Yeah, that's cute and very colorful.
Yep.
The character is, but you can get it on a black shirt or.
Well, the original image was put up in front of like space, though I made the space like a dark blue. So I mostly chose dark colors for it, and then I put purple and pink because those are like her colors as well. But like if you get it like a navy blue or black or whatever, it'd be like she's still floating in space.
Yeah. Oh, you can get her in a hoodie, t-shirt, long sleeve, or a hoodie. Who's it always says that? I think that's Mark Dice who always ends his. Yeah.
You get on a pint glass.
A t-shirt, long sleeve, or hoodie.
You can get just a sticker if you want. There's all kinds of options, but get on a t-shirt. You'll look good in it.
Oh, maybe I'll get a mug.
Yeah. Or if you're not
I
into
can
that and you
actually-
still want to buy stuff X Dynamis Chaos, you can either buy comics over on Indie Planet. You got Realms and Relics, and also every finished chapter of X Dynamis Chaos is up there. Or you can always just go to Amazon and you can get Act 1 of the novelized version of X Dynamis Chaos.
You can get a fleece blanket.
Yep.
Only $58.
Yeah, and I think I get like close to $20 out of that.
I could use a blanket. It gets cold around here. I don't know. I don't have any blankets. Do you have one of these, or have you? I'm guessing
I have
it's just.
not bought a fleece blanket from them. I don't know how it is. I'm assuming it's probably like this old as dirt Yu-Gi-Oh one here that I'm using to jam up the door so I'm not too loud for people.
Oh, that's cool. I thought that was like a beach towel or something at first.
No, it's just a fleece blanket. Yeah,
Neat.
fleece blankets are nice.
Cool. Yeah.
They're light. You just wrap around.
Yeah. Well, speaking of getting good deals,
Yes, that's because we don't really have too much to talk about. I do have some stories, but they're very
Okay.
short. So we could get to some Black Friday deals or whatever first, since that's coming up. We got Black Friday, Cyber
Well-
Monday's coming up too, but we're gonna have a show in between now and then, so that's not as big of a deal.
yeah, I mean, well, we can intersperse it a little bit. I
Yep.
mean, the first thing I have up is video games. Always a good way to start, because I do have other things besides video games. But
Yeah, there's a lot
I'll
of
tell
like,
you, have you
manga
seen-
box sets that are on sale too right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
have you seen the game Unpacking?
No,
by
I
any
have not.
chance? It's really cool. I think it was a Piper who I saw playing that on Twitch first. I'd never seen it before. Adventures of Piper. It's basically like it gives you it's a neat little low key game. It gives you like an apartment and some boxes full of stuff, and you have to unpack them and put everything away.
The part of moving that everybody hates, but suddenly it's a game, so we're gonna play it.
Yeah. it's amusing, and it's very bright and colorful,
Yeah.
and very easy, and just kind of putting stuff where it goes. It's cathartic, I guess. I think I got it for free though on the PS5. I think it's on PS Plus if you have that. But apparently it's on sale 50% off on GOG. So $10. If you like nice, relaxing games, it's a few hours. And I think I finished it in 4 or 5 hours max.
You know, I've never fully unpacked.
Really? Me neither.
I've lived here for like 3 years, and I still have never fully unpacked.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I fully unpacked anything anywhere.
It's because I think I'm so used to moving, right? Even if I've been somewhere for more than a year or whatever, I'm so used to going between places that I'm like, well, I'm just gonna move again. So unless I need something, there's no point in unpacking it.
Well, what's funny is that when I moved back here, I actually did finish unpacking every box, everything put away, everything. And then my friend Eric, who lives here, said, "Hey, do you want these boxes?" And I was like, "What boxes?" He's like,
The ones that were in the car.
"You don't remember? You left a bunch of boxes here when you left." I was like, "Oh shit." So yeah, he gave me a bunch of boxes, and those I have not finished unpacking because it's mostly trash. It's mostly just like really old, previously important papers, like tax returns from 2003 or some shit like that I don't need. So, but anyway,
Yeah. And there's some boxes right up there. There we go.
neat.
I just leave them open. That's it. So I'll stand on a chair and I'll grab something out of it if I need it.
Yeah. I found the key, and this actually is in the game. The key to unpacking is storage space.
Yeah.
If you have enough storage space, unpacking becomes very easy because you have a place for everything. So just designate a place. And just,
If the box is already storage space, I don't need storage space if
Right.
it's still in the box.
yeah.
Also,
I mean,
hey,
it's
Fizz,
easier
hey,
to
Rick.
find stuff in drawers. Yeah. Hey. And Timothy Olsen was here earlier, so hopefully he's still
but
here.
the thing is, if I had already packed everything mindfully to where they're with the other things they belong with, then the boxes are already drawers.
Okay. If it works for you, that's who am I to judge?
I gotta stay 5 steps ahead of myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so let's see. Talking about grand old games. So this is the list from the GOG Black Friday sale. Unpacking was just like the most interesting thing to me, just because I played it recently. But also Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition is $3.50. $3.50. Elder Scrolls 3, 4, and 5 Skyrim Anniversary Edition are all way down. Like Morrowind is $6, Oblivion is $5, and Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim Anniversary Edition, which is just the most recent,
that's just
$16.50. So
yeah, at that you could just get the whole thing if you're missing it, because I believe Arena and Daggerfall are still just free for download.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's right. Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition, $6.59. Fallout 3, Fallout 4, $6.50 and $10. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, $12.50, down from $50. So lots of good, fairly recent games. Cyberpunk 2077 and Phantom Liberty bundle. I guess that's the latest DLC.
Yeah, that was the expansion. Which
those are down.
It's actually a good game now, right? Like they fixed it, and what Phantom Liberty adds is actually a pretty good storyline. So everybody who's been holding off on Cyberpunk, it might actually be worth your money now, and you pick it up on sale too.
Yeah, both of them, including the DLC. Well, not spectacular, but $56, which normally it's $80. So yeah, if you want to try it, probably now's a good time. Or you can wait another couple years and it'll probably be $15.
Rick has a question. He says, "Hey, I just bought the 4-pack of Gauntlet on Steam. Any idea how I send the people extras?" Well, you should be able to find the extras in your inventory. That's where they sit. And there should be options for you to gift it to somebody from your Steam inventory. And then your friends list will pop up, and you should be able to pick people from your friends list. That's how it used to work. I think that's still how it works. You might also be able to go to your friend on your friends list, right-click their name, and there should be options for gifting. Like, I think there are multiple methods to get to this area. But your extra copies, since you only ever get one on your account, will be sitting in your Steam inventory.
Yeah. Rick had asked me if I wanted to play. Don't send one to me. Hopefully it wouldn't let you because I already own
no, it won't if somebody already owns it.
So, let me know when you want to play. I'd be happy to.
Yeah,
I played it single player, but yeah, that'd be cool. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, $12.50.
You'd have to pay me to buy that game. Like, I would have to be negative money there. You know.
Yeah, that's another one that was free on PS Plus. I played it for like 5 minutes and I was like, I hate this game. I don't like it. I uninstalled it. Even free, I didn't want to play it. All right. Well, that's enough for now, I think.
Yeah. Well, there's actually one other Black Friday deal that I did have a story on, and I figure it might be able to lead into some conversation. The Nintendo Switch Online membership is going to be discounted for Black Friday. Right. So I think the biggest deal is if we look at the largest purchase that you can make on it, which will be the family plan plus the expansion pass, right? Which is normally $80, is actually dropping down almost $9, which is that is a big deal when you count like cutting up month by month and how many accounts have it, right? You're actually saving quite a bit each month. So it's going to be $71.89. So basically $72. That is a huge savings if you actually need the family plan and want the expansion pass. And the reason I say that's a big deal is because the way most people get the family pass is they don't actually share it with their real family. They go and they find some friends who want the Nintendo Switch Online because it doesn't have to all be on the same Switch. And they're like, hey, here's my portion. we just PayPal or wire transfer each of our individual $10 or whatever, and one person just pays it, and all 8 people now have Nintendo Switch Online with the expansion pass. So now instead of everybody tossing in $10, everybody will be tossing in close to $8. That's a $2 saving per person. That's actually pretty good at that rate.
Yeah. I could have sworn, I'm looking at my email, I feel like mine went up.
Maybe.
Like I think they sent me an email saying my price was going to go up, but that might have been the PlayStation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, PlayStation Plus price is going up, apparently.
Yeah. For individual, it's going down to. Actually, I think individual isn't getting a discount for expansion pass. Either that or they're not sharing it. Bad article. Because it's at 50, and I think it's always 50 for the individual. But the other ones are. I think that they just probably have an error and didn't put the right information on the individual for expansion pass. But the regular family membership is dropping down from $35 to $31.50. The individual for a year is dropping from $20 to $18, which isn't the biggest deal. It's still only like $2. It would still be better to find 7 other people and do that expansion pass on the family. And for 3-month memberships, it's going from 8 to 7. So, like most things, you get a better bargain the higher you put into it. So,
For what is that?
these are the Nintendo Switch Online memberships.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which are normally pretty cheap anyway. Like $20 for a whole year is pretty fucking cheap.
Well, no. So I guess the whatever it is, the $9 off must be for new subscribers only.
Yeah, probably.
Mine hasn't. Yeah, I did get a notification from Nintendo, but it is this, I guess, the same as it was before.
Well, you have to purchase it as a digital code on Amazon to get it, right? So then you can put that in and you can top up. And yes, Rick, I did just see while we were live, Steam decided to send me a notification that Gauntlet was just gifted to me.
Nice.
I heard a little.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, if you have GOG, just open it up. There's always like on their homepage they always have sales anyway. So I guess they have a big old Black Friday sale already live, and it's only Tuesday.
Only Tuesday. Which actually means nothing because Black Friday just gets longer and longer, right? It used to just be Black Friday. And then since Cyber Monday came out, like, okay, well, now Black Friday is going to be the whole 4-day weekend. And then they started going backwards. You go as early as Thanksgiving now. And now Black Friday is a whole week. It's only a matter of time until Thanksgiving as a holiday is deleted. And it's going to be Black November. Like, the entire month is going to be Black Friday. So it's going to be spend money for October for Halloween whole month. Spend money for Black Friday for November whole month. And then spend money for Christmas for December whole month. They're just going to try to kill you the whole holiday season, and I think we need to burn it all down now before it gets that bad.
Yeah.
That's why I like Hanukkah. It's only 8 nights. No more, no less. Get out of here with everything else.
Right. Yeah, right. I mean, people used to complain, "Oh, you get 8 nights of presents, but we only get 1 day." And
yeah,
like,
but half the time
Christmas
the present's
is
like a piece of candy or a chocolate or something. It's not like
Yeah.
you're getting Christmas presents every single night.
Yeah, yeah, you get socks and stuff.
Yeah.
I can attest to that.
Oh, dude, I love socks. I barely even wear socks, but I am never upset when somebody gives me socks for presents.
It's funny. There was a Saturday Night Live skit called like Hanukkah Harry, and yeah, he came and gave the kids socks and chocolate coins and things like that, and they're like, "Ah, great, thanks, Hanukkah Harry."
Yeah, I think that's actually how holidays used to be for like most of history. Is you might have like a date, maybe, right? Like something will be around the solstice or whatever, but the festivities will last a week, right? Most people took off, like maybe during the daytime, you'd still do work or whatever, right? Like Most of the Jewish holidays are like that. It's when the sun goes down, things start, right? But like,
Yeah.
there'd be a festival for like a week, and then you went back to work because the whole point was like seasonally, you had something to do to break the monotony of your day-to-day life, and then you'd go back to that monotony after a week. I think that was a fine way of doing it. I think holidays have gotten a little out of hand in the modern day, especially that we have so many holidays now that are just single days that you can create week-long festivals of just picking any random 5 holidays that are back-to-back with each other. I hate it. I absolutely hate the way holidays have progressed.
Well, actually, I just got an email. This is what I was just looking at from Game Rant.
You get emails
Announcing
from
the
Game
new, announcing the new PS Plus game. So if you've got PS Plus, which I don't know if anybody here does besides me, the new December games are going to include something called River City Melee Mach. Have you heard of that?
That might just be another name for one of the Kunio-kun games that I don't know the English title for.
Yeah.
Let me look up.
I guess
Let me see if I know this by its Japanese name.
It is. It looks like you're playing as a man or a boy.
It's probably Kunio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a battle royale game.
Mach. See what it was originally called.
Oh, it's like a 4-player.
Oh, that is what it's
battle
originally
royale
called.
brawl.
It's a new game from 2019, built in Unity by Arc System Works. That's supposed to look like the older games. I must have missed this one.
That's cool. Yeah, I'd never seen it before. So that's cool. I could play that on my PS5.
Yeah.
All
I have is PS
Dragons...
minus, as in I'm minus a PS.
Yeah. Also, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, and something called Teardown, which is a brand new game, I think. Like a day one.
Not familiar with it. Hey, Mike. Let's see.
Oh no, it came out too. They said something. One of these was like a day one, like brand new game, but I don't know which one. So something called Superliminal. Dead Rising Riptide, I've heard of that.
Superliminal is also fairly old. I remember watching Markiplier play that like 3 years ago. That's an interesting game because it's all about perspective. So you pick something up, and based on like what it looks like to the background, it'll get bigger or smaller. You know.
I remember that where you place something in the room or something, and then
it's like if you walk closer to a wall,
3D.
it'll get smaller. If you walk further away from the wall, it gets bigger. It's based on like what it looks like to the background. It's basically the concept of people standing in front of the Leaning Tower of Pisa to make it look like they're holding it up or whatever. But depending on how far close you are, it makes it look like you're bigger to the building.
Yeah, and I can imagine if you're doing that, and then like you actually pick it up, like it becomes like this small, and you can pick it up and move it. But then you get closer and like go inside it, and so it's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird game. That's cool. And also one called Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, which is an action RPG. So
never heard of it. But Superliminal is definitely a fun experience. So anybody who has that, I would recommend picking up if you haven't played it before.
Yeah.
Or like picking up, downloading it, because I know they're all free if you have it, but I do think you have to manually go and download. It's not like they're just gonna take up your storage space on you without your permission.
Yeah, they show up. They show up in your PS Plus list. Yeah, some interesting games.
Yes, and Teardown is
anything...
the deconstruction game, or the deconstruction, whatever. You have like construction equipment and stuff, and it's about tearing down. It's a pretty straightforward name to the game. I love it when people do that.
Yeah, it's funny how they name games appropriately these days. There's one called Unpacking, that is about unpacking, and there's one called Teardown, which is about tearing things down.
Yeah. There's also a game that I played. Graphics are very similar to Superliminal, called Influent, and the entire point of the game is to teach you vocabulary in other languages. So it's kind of it's a little more than a walking simulator. It's like an interaction sim, and you're like in an apartment or whatever, and it's all about like interacting with things and actually learning the names of stuff in other languages. So it's a pretty decent way to build up vocabulary, and it's like Influent, straightforward name. But no, so talking about Superliminal actually reminded me of something else. There's a game I saw a trailer for that I believe is supposed to be, it was supposed to come out this year, but they spent even more time working on it, and it looks even more realistic than it does before. It's one of those games where you actually want something to look realistic. It might be coming out sometime next year, but it's called Subliminal, and it is based on liminal spaces, right? Like a backrooms type game or whatever. And you are basically just trapped in these different liminal spaces based on the very popular liminal space images that you would probably see moving around the internet. And it is a horror game. And it actually, I could not tell it was a game when I was watching the most recent trailer. I thought this was actually like edited found footage or something until I saw the little reticle pop up when the person was going to interact with it. And it's like, oh, I'm not that huge on graphics, but for horror games, I kind of want it to be as realistic as possible, because it's kind of like the whole point of it. I either want it to be as realistic as possible, or I want it to look like it's on the PS1 again. I don't really want anything in between that, right? Like I either want old crunchy Silent Hill, where it gave this like weird nostalgic retro vibe, even at the time, that was almost uncanny, or I want something that looks super realistic. I basically just want an analog horror game. And those are like the two ends of it. I don't want anything that's like in between it.
Yeah.
But it looks really good.
Subliminal? Is that what it's called?
Yes. Which takes the term subliminal, recuts it back up into its two parts. Yeah. And makes it even more literal than people use the term subliminal for.
Yeah. Well, do you happen to know what the top grossing movie of 2023 has been so far?
Top grossing movie of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I probably would have assumed Barbie, but I guess I'm probably going to be wrong on that.
Nope, you're all right.
Oh, it was Barbie. Okay.
Yes, and you can get Barbie on Blu-ray right now for $10 on Amazon. If you're interested in apparently the best movie of 2023.
Barbie is definitely one of those strong cases for the trope, the idea and arguments, death of the author, because they definitely tried going in there making like a subversive, almost like feminist movie. But when you get to the writing phase and you just start coming up with a plot, I actually don't blame most writers for the movies that they churn out, if it's on their own, right? Because a script will take over itself for any writing. You could tell when something was written by a single person or when something was made by committee. The fact that Barbie accidentally speaks on so many things, you could tell it was actually primarily written by a single person and that the script took over. Because the actual message of the movie is not even close to what the author wants the message of the movie to be.
Yeah. The real hero is Ken, of course.
Well, I think the real hero of the movie is compromise. Right? Now, that blows up because it's like the Barbies turns out that they are bitches, and like, no, you don't actually get your compromise until the real world fix. Like, there is still some of that subversive element, but it just makes the Barbies look worse, not better. But I think the real hero of the story, like the actual message, is compromise. And I don't think that was the intended message of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really want to talk about it.
No. I'm just. It just speaks like that's why it's so popular. It's like
I
there
haven't
is
seen
like
it.
an actual
Yeah.
more like message in that movie. People resonate with it, and people weren't
Yeah.
expecting a comedy Barbie movie to resonate with that large of an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely a chick flick, and in my
yeah.
opinion, and if you know if you are a woman likes it, it's available on Blu-ray for $10, 75% off. 4K one is $25. But you know what is a better deal on the 4K Blu-ray is the Super Mario Brothers movie, which is the second
Yeah.
highest grossing movie of the year, and that is $10 for the 4K Blu-ray, which makes me kind of mad because I think I spent at least $25 on mine. Could have waited a little longer, and now it's $9.99.
I don't know what I have to do other than like maybe buying a bunch of equipment and doing it myself. I kind of want the Super Mario Brothers movie on VHS. I don't know why. It's like the only movie I want it on VHS.
Yeah. There's also a steelbook edition that's like, a collector's edition. It actually kind of looks so good. I kind of want that now. Now I'm doubly mad. But that one's $37. Probably won't bother because I already have it. But VHS. Yeah, you'd have to record that yourself.
Oh, yeah, because they don't sell VHS anymore. Well, I mean, they do, but they only sell blanks, right? Like Fuji still sells stuff that you can use to record. And they're more expensive than they used to be because they're not mass producing these things. But that's the only way you can get them. Nobody sells printed VHS that has what you already want on it anymore. They stopped doing that in like, I don't know, 2006 or something.
Yeah. Rick says, I got Transformers Rise of the Beast for $10 Canadian.
Wow, that's like nothing here.
Yeah. What is that anyway? Probably not. The dollar's probably dropped a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably, let's see, his Monopoly money's worth like nothing. That's probably all the change I have sitting on this desk.
$10 Canadian is $7.30. So wow.
Okay, it's more than the change I have on this desk, but still.
That's a good deal. Well, actually, Gran Turismo, which I guess is not in theaters anymore, is not on sale.
Nope.
Well, shoot.
It's probably too new. Right,
But,
like it had just dropped out of theaters or whatever. So like you don't put something
yeah.
that just dropped on the cell phone sale, even if it's Black Friday.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, at least certain versions of Barbie and Super Mario are on sale.
Yeah, but you know what? Barbie's probably safe because its margins were still quite a bit higher than Mario's. FNAF is probably gunning for Mario, though. It doesn't seem to be slowing down at the moment, but it only has so much time this year to catch up. That was the problem. Like Mario had an extended stay in the theater. I think FNAF's is almost over, so it probably won't catch up. But it did way better than anybody thought it was going to.
I had a pretty low budget, too. Didn't it?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to make half of Mario, but the rate it was going was gunning pretty fast. I think it last I checked, it was only over like 100 million, but while some Mario's
right now,
like 10
worldwide,
times that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worldwide, it's at 272.
270. Okay, so it has doubled from the last time I checked. Like, its rate of growth is great. If it did an extended run in the theaters, it actually probably could get close to catching up. Like, it could probably be just sub-billion if it had an extended run. But it's not.
Really?
It's going to be done. People underestimate how big the FNAF fan base is, right? But I think it's only doing the standard, like, 3-week run that most movies have. I don't think it's doing the month and a half that Mario did.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, but apparently anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know if it could have gotten
we
to
were
a
just
billion
going off of its rate of
just by
growth,
staying out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that also depends. They might think that doing the standard 3-week is the most it would get anyway. Like, it might flatline after that, which is why you don't do the extended. You only do that extended if you think it's going to make up for it because you have to pay the theaters for that extra time. And if it's going to flatline
What's
after your
crazy-
normal run, there's no point in doing it.
Yeah. What's crazy is the budget for that movie is $20 million.
Oh yeah. But its rate of growth was higher than like
250
anything else
million.
that came out this year.
Yeah. Man, it made a bit more than it made almost 12 times its budget. That's insane.
Yeah.
Whereas, let me see,
And it hardly advertised. Like, for the cost of theaters, it's probably going to be spending a little more than the same cost of its budget, just because its budget was so low. But they probably equalized out and covered that from the fact that they hardly marketed the thing.
Yeah. Well, Super Mario was only 100 million, so it made 13 and a half times its budget. So,
well, this was saying, so not even just based on budget, but based on expectation and follow through, FNAF actually was growing faster than Mario did. Mario had higher expectations, though.
Yeah.
But it probably would flatline before you'd even hit the month. Like, there's no point in extending it.
Yeah. Well, as long as we're talking about movies, do you can you guess which movie cost 238 or 234 million, and probably isn't even going to make that much at the box office?
Is it the lowest grossing movie in Marvel history?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I think we barely touched on that one, but that was because we ran out of time. I was just going through headlines because it was only 74 million last I checked.
Yeah, it had a it broke an interesting record. Had a record-breaking drop in box office performance the second week over the first.
Ooh.
Absolutely collapsed. 79% drop in box office the second week.
Yeah, we were just actually, or I was talking about it a little bit beforehand, where I actually feel kind of bad for Iman, the girl who's playing Kamala Khan, because it's just like,
she seems nice.
She seems nice. She's actually, as an actress, she's pretty talented. Like, she's good at expressing and stuff for her age, having like very little experience. And she seems very enthusiastic about comics. The sad part is she grew up in a time where comics are pretty bad. So she likes these comics that are out now and have been out for a little while. And I don't know if she's gone back and read some of the better comics, but she seems like really enthusiastic about the character. They're bringing her on to actually write the character in the comics now. And it's like, man, I wish somebody as enthusiastic as you got to grow up in a time when comics were much better. And it wasn't like embarrassing to be enthusiastic about it. Read some indie comics.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, or read some old ones from the 90s or something.
Yeah.
80s and 90s. Because Joseph brought up something interesting due to well, I don't think this is because of this can't be because FNAF was successful, because it looks like they already were making a Poppy Playtime movie.
Yeah, I think.
Or no. Well, are these fakes? These might be fakes.
They might be fakes.
I see
If they were already working on
trailers,
it, I wouldn't be surprised if it was because FNAF is successful, but not because it was successful in the box office, but probably because the reception to the early marketing was successful. I would assume. Yeah. But you could also put on other things. There was that really bad Banana Splits movie. But it made more money than people thought it was going to. And then there was Willy's Wonderland, right? And those both had like good reception. So all three of these types of movies already had a good enough reception that if you go low budget, I could see why Poppies would get one too. I don't think it's going to be massively successful. I don't think there's as big of a following behind it. It is kind of one of those we're riding off the coattails of previously popular things. But I mean, they might make back more than their budget. And if you do that, you're already consider yourself successful.
Yeah, I would definitely try and keep it. I mean, if FNAF was 20 million, I would keep this to 10. I would say keep it to 10 million. You should be able to make a profit. But I was going to say, I'm seeing articles from a month ago saying that the Poppy Playtime movie was going to happen. So that was before FNAF even came out.
Yeah.
So
Like, I
But,
think we can still consider FNAF in the equation just because, like, the early marketing did have a really good reception. It's probably why they also felt like they didn't have to spend so much on marketing. They got such a good reception before, like, a year out before the movie even came in that, like, why do you need to market it anymore? But also those other 2 movies, too. Like, there's a precedent for wanting to make a movie like this. It's the buzz right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Well,
I do feel bad for for that little girl in the Marvels being in such a terrible movie. Apparently.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh, and then God, 'cause she can only be in worse things from here on out too. That's the problem, right? Because like, what else would they do with that character? A Champions movie? Nobody wants to see a Champions movie. What are you gonna do? Bring in Amadeus Cho?
What's that like? Is that like Young Avengers?
Kind
New
of.
Avengers?
They've got like 3 or 4 different teen Avenger things, and the Champions is one of them. And it was led by Miss Marvel for a time. She was actually basically a fascist. Just like Carol was at that time too. They were both actually doing straight up fascista things, like administering punishment before like crimes were even done and stuff. Yeah,
she was like trying to prevent crime by like arresting people and putting them in a space prison before they even did
Report
anything.
or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
like, wait a minute. You're detaining someone who has not committed a crime.
That was what Carol was doing at that time. Kamala was like getting leads on stuff, and she was like breaking and entering into people's apartments while they weren't actually doing anything without even full evidence. She was basically just becoming vigilante, like Sheriff Khan. And it's like, well, you need evidence. You can't just arrest somebody, especially when they're not actively doing anything. You're not a cop. Like it was getting crazy that even like the other people were calling her out on some of the stuff she was doing.
Which is weird that they put that in the comic.
Trying to make her look like the good guy, but it's like, no, they're calling me out, but I'm still right. Like they thought that having the call out would reinforce that she's right even more, making the other people look stupid for calling out. I was like, yeah, but they're saying rational things, though. You understand that, right?
And then there was Riri Williams actually was like an international terrorist. Didn't she take over an entire country, like, just by force? And it's like, what the fuck?
These are supposed to be your good guys.
Yeah.
And it's okay to have good guys do bad things if, like, within a reasonable amount of time, they learn their lesson. Because you can use that. You can teach lessons. People are flawed. But, like, I gotta go on a whole arc. Six comics where the person doesn't learn their lesson by the end and they're just doing horrible things. Probably is comics have been like that for a while and people haven't noticed. If people remember the Superior Iron Man situation, Tony barely learned a lesson by the end of that. I think he technically did. But he barely learned a lesson by the end of that. He almost got away scot-free.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something wrong with the heads of Marvel writers.
But hey, there's some good news. You want to hear some good news? Comic related, tech movie related too. So, we've got a little bit of the casting for Superman Legacy, which in general is not a movie I was looking forward to. I don't know why we need a young Superman movie, but
I like the casting though.
Yeah, I did too. Especially one of the most important parts was Jimmy Olsen is going to be played by Skylar Gisondo from Righteous Gemstones. And I'm like, holy, wait. Are they actually going to let Jimmy be white?
What's his name? I missed that one. Skylar?
I think is Gisondo?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gisondo.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know if it's Giz. I think
white.
it's Giz. Yeah.
Weird.
Like they're actually going to let Jimmy be white again? Because recently, ever since they first changed him, right? In like it was like a side comic. I can't remember when it happened, but they use that as an excuse. So like in Supergirl, he was black, and in recent comics, though actually in Dawn of DC they made him white again. They actually made him a redhead, and in that stupid Superman and Adventures of Superman show that came out recently, he was also black. And like they just been using an excuse, once you change him black, he could just stay black forever. It's like, yeah, but that's not the character. The real question is Skylar going to dye his hair or wear a wig? Are we actually going to get Ginger Jimmy Olsen? I'm kind of fine if we don't. I would prefer it though.
It's kind of auburn hair.
Yeah. Like he could definitely pass as Jimmy. This is a good casting for him.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't been in very much. A remake of Vacation. And
He was good at. I watched like I think everything they had out at the time. So like earlier this summer of Righteous Gemstones. I think it was like the whole season or whatever. And he was pretty good in it. I think the show's pretty good. He played the son of like the main character, who had went off to like LA to become an actor, but things weren't working out. So he was kind of basically became like a hustler, like a thief or whatever. And he and his buddy came back to try to rip off his rich family. But then like he started getting really incorporated in everything, and he started feeling guilty. So there's like this whole character arc, and he couldn't go through with it. And his buddy was about to like mess him up, and there's like this whole like his family gets his back, but he did a good job in it. I actually like Righteous Gemstones. I think it's a funny show. People haven't seen it. It's pretty cool. It's like one of those mega church things, right? But like it makes fun of mega churches, which I think mega churches do need to be made fun of. We've got quite a few prominent ones here in Texas that I love to harass, but they kind of make fun of it and appreciate the characters at the same time, because while they are like greedy people, they're almost like stupidly greedy people. Like their greed and everything is almost out of just pure idiocy, right? Like they think they're good people. They don't actually think they're doing wrong. They don't think they're ripping people off. They think this is their calling to the Lord and everything, but they still have like these really bad, like snobby rich people habits off in the Bible Belt. And it's hilarious. Like it is a funny show. What's his name? Oh God, I can't remember the main character. He's in a bunch of stuff. He was in like Land of the Lost. But he's a comedian, or not a comedian, a comedic actor, and he's hilarious. What is his fucking name? Is gonna bother me. I have to go look it up. Danny McBride. Danny McBride, that's his name.
Oh. Yeah, that's
John Goodman's in it too. He plays like the patriarch of the family, the dad who founded the mega church.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what are we? What movie are we talking about now?
That's what the show that the actor who's going to play Jimmy's from.
Oh, I see.
And I think people should watch that show if they haven't. It's actually a pretty funny show.
Okay. Righteous Gems.
Yeah.
Well, back to Superman.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just noticed Sarah Sampaio is playing Eve Tessmacher, and wow.
Oh yeah, no. She's.
I don't think I've ever even heard of her. Wait.
I don't think she's done much acting. She's a Portuguese supermodel. Was her career before this.
Okay, good. She's okay, so she's 32. Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah. She looks really young. She looks. I was like,
she was born the same year I was.
Before I say anything else, I want to make sure that she's at least 18.
No, she's my age.
Yeah. Okay. But wow, she's hot.
Yeah.
And 32 years old, so I can say she's.
Well, Tessmacher is definitely one of those characters that I think you already have more liberties with anyway, because she's not. But she has showed up in the comics quite a bit since her first appearance, but she's kind of like just a give or take here and there character. There's really not much of a canon to her.
Mm-hmm.
So all you really need is to just put a gorgeous woman in that position, and you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, what's funny is the one that was in the Superman in, what was it, 1970 something, 79 or whatever. The first Superman movie, she wasn't very hot, I didn't think. Maybe she was.
She had a good body.
I don't know.
I guess. Yeah. Her face wasn't necessarily all there. I think she had done like glamour shots and stuff like that. But she had a gorgeous body.
I guess you're right. Yeah. I'll have to go back and watch that. But Nathan Fillion is Guy Gardner. I didn't know that.
I didn't even see that. That is a fan casting. People have been wanting him to play Guy Gardner. This is actually the perfect time to introduce him. He's a little old, I guess, if this is a Superman legacy, but you know what? I'm fine with it.
Yeah. That's I like that. And Isabella, another hot one. Isabella Merced as Hawk Girl.
That name sounds familiar. I'm going to have to go look at her. Wait.
She's Latino. She's in Transformers The Last Night.
That might be why that name sounds familiar. I need to see a picture of her.
That's the only thing, and a voice in Dora. Who is this? Mr. Terrific? Who's Mr. Terrific? I don't even remember that. A guy named Eddie Gathegi.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's the guy who played. Okay. The guy who played Darwin in X-Men First Class. Remember him?
Yeah. She wasn't a voice in Dora. She played the live action Dora in Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
Oh, that must have been.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize.
Yeah. It's been a few years since that. She's like 22 now. So.
Okay, so that's the one that was. You'd be careful because she was. She was a child actor.
Fine.
Yeah. Anthony Kerrigan.
Yeah, I think the casting in general looks pretty good. It
does
look
like all of these.
I even like the Lex Luthor pick, which was Nicholas Hoult.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Did you see the picture of him?
Oh,
with bald head?
Perfect.
Oh my God.
This actually, so I was pretty skeptical when Gunn was like, we're going backwards. We're starting with a younger Superman. But I think it's because he finally wrapped up all of the Snyderverse stuff that they were going to go through with, and they were kind of like bound to releasing those movies. This is kind of like the actual start. The Flash wasn't the start. This is the actual start of Gunn stuff. And I'm fine. If he actually, these look like the comic characters for the most part. Like, it actually seems like they were trying. I need to see what the script is, or at least like the trailer. It could still be a shitty story, but at least it gives me some hope. It gives me some hope.
Well, David Corenswet looks really good. Yeah. But I don't know about Rachel Brosnahan. Like,
I don't even know that name. Let me look at her.
She's Lois Lane, and I don't know who that is either. She's in House of Cards, and I'm like, couldn't they find a prettier girl? Like, I don't know. I guess it'll depend on how they do her up
19,
and everything.
I think. Oh no.
Oh.
Nope. Sorry.
What?
There's another April Rachel Brosnahan or whatever. Somebody close her name. Let me find this.
Yeah, I was gonna say that wouldn't.
The name is very close. She is 33. There we go. That's closer to what she should be. Let me look.
Yeah, Lois should be.
Yeah. No, there was some TikToker who had like a very similar name, so Google auto completed that instead. She was the marvelous Miss Maisel.
I don't even know what that is.
Let me look at this. I don't think I recognize her from anything. I've even seen House of Cards and I don't recognize her.
I guess she's pretty. I shouldn't say that. She's all right.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see better picks, but she's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of neat that there's a Green Lantern, a Green Lantern in this movie apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna be a Green Lantern. I don't really know. I imagine he was just a normal person at some point.
The best Green Lantern.
Guy Gardner?
Oh yeah.
Really?
He's the coolest.
Okay. Is that the one who's basically the star of that Green Lantern animated show? Was that?
I thought Hal Jordan was the star of that one.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Guy Gardner once mooned Batman.
Okay. It's an interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting footnote, I guess. Guy Gardner is the Green Lantern in the movie. He's the Green Lantern in the upcoming movie.
Yeah. So that's probably
Yeah.
why they're it's probably why they're doing that now.
Yeah. Well, all right. Cool. Yeah, I have high hopes. I mean, James Gunn.
Yeah, I was
has done
thinking
a
the
pretty
same
damn
thing.
good job.
Same thing as Rick too.
I mean,
he might be great Guy, but he might be a bit old. I think Fillion is kind of a bit old to be playing Guy. At least in the circumstance of like if Lois is 33, right? Because usually they stick close to the actor's name or age. Then Superman's also going to be about that age too. And I'm just like he's a little old to be Guy. If we're talking about like a 30-year-old Superman, but I don't know. Their timeline, they could do different things. Guy could have been running around for a lot longer.
Yeah. Wow. Nathan Fillion's 52.
Yeah.
That is a bit old.
Yeah. Rick says Guy came into the
imagine
animated
they'll-
series in the second season.
Okay.
I do
Yeah,
remember
it's
the
been a
series
while.
started with Hal Jordan. I did not watch much of it.
Okay. I watched it from beginning to end, but it's several years ago. Yeah, that's I mean, I imagine they're gonna try and make him look a little younger, but 52. Oh well.
Well,
He's got a good look.
yeah.
We'll see.
And he's been wanting to play a superhero for a while. I think his first taste into it is when he played Captain Hammer in Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, which was great. But he wanted to play Wonder Man over in Marvel. Like, he actually actively wanted to play Wonder Man, who
I don't even know who
basically all he had to do was act as himself, like the way that you normally see him
Yeah.
acting. Because Wonder Man is an actor who got like nuclear powers or whatever. He can like become radiation. He was very attached to Carol Danvers stories back when she was still like Miss Marvel, and he was pretty cool. And basically, Nathan Fillion could just go in, act as himself, and then they could green screen his powers or stuff on top of him. But that never happened. It probably never will happen at this point. And the Guy, that's another good role for him, honestly.
Yeah. Apparently, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
He was, yes.
Who did he play?
They went to this like manufacturing plant or whatever where they make organic machines, like living machines, and he was like the guy in charge of security or whatever in that place.
So like
it was a pretty big role for like
cameo.
the whole time there because they kept talking to him and stuff like that. He had a lot of lines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, I saw that movie, but I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah. He was wearing like a like armor that was made out of flesh or whatever. He was a security guard.
Oh yeah, that's weird. I remember now.
Yeah.
He was great in Firefly.
He was great in
And
Firefly, yes.
I think Firefly era, which was 20 years ago, like 20 to 21 years ago. That age, Nathan Fillion would have been perfect.
Or even
guy
as
couldn't-
late as Dr. Horrible, right? Because Dr. Horrible started out as a web series. I think it was somewhere around like 2010. Like that age, he still would have been fine. And he could, if you want to play like an older character, but to try to cast him as like a main character at this age that's like contemporary to the other main characters, he's just a little old for it.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if that means he's basically going to be almost like a throwaway, one and done kind of a thing. Like if they do like another Green Lantern movie,
And by move on to a different Green Lantern.
yeah, maybe they'll do Hal Jordan, I guess.
Yeah,
But
probably.
I guess would be a shame, but Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. I never actually watched that.
Oh, it's great. It's got Felicia Day, Neil Patrick Harris, Freeze Ray Laundry Day is probably my favorite song in it. But yeah, and it's just a great little musical that was told piece by piece in a web series. But you could go on like Netflix or whatever and just watch it all as like one movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good ending.
You know what's weird? Apparently Nathan Fillion was in the Suicide Squad. but
The sequel
who did
one?
he play? Yeah.
Okay, because I haven't seen that one still.
Oh, really?
Yeah, almost out of spite.
I was much better than the first one.
I know, we've been
It
over
was
this many
much
times.
better. Oh, okay. Why don't you want to watch it?
Partially because of the first one, but also at this point out of spite because everybody keeps telling me to watch it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't dream of it, but I'll just say I liked it. It's probably not, not great, but it was good, I thought.
I also, one of the things that didn't even sell me on the first one is whether it was good or bad, right? Which everybody widely agrees that the first one was bad. I don't really like the concept of the Suicide Squad. Never really did.
Good.
Yeah,
it's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all villains, or, of course they try to make them like anti-villains, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Just, if you have something that needs to get done, just call a freaking actual superhero, Whatever.
Yeah, because you can't, like, the whole point of it, like, I understand the point, but it's the dumbest point. It's like, well, as far as we understand, they're expendable. It's like, yes, but they're also very untrustworthy people.
Yeah. They're yeah. And I mean, it's
especially like with how easy it is to break out of like Arkham Asylum and Blackgate Prison.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're just gonna go back in if you don't do what we tell. It's like they're gonna be out in 3 weeks anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and at least in this one, they put like explosives in their heads, so if they don't do what they're told, they can just blow up their head.
Yeah.
But anyway, there are lots of games on the Switch for sale.
Oh yeah.
Nothing well, actually, there's a couple things that are a little surprising. If you like Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes is only $15.
I have problems with that game.
Okay.
Yeah, I have two big problems. One, it's a sequel to Three Houses, which fucking sucks. In my opinion, it's the worst Fire Emblem game that was made. A lot of people say that's blasphemous because Fire Emblem Fates exists, but I think Three Houses is worse. Why the fuck do you want to be playing in school where half the game is a school visual novel and not the actual strategy game that you bought?
Oh,
right? The other
I didn't know
is that it's a Warriors game, and I don't think the Warrior genre fits with Fire Emblem, because Fire Emblem, it is about battlefields, but it's about like one-on-one encounters in the battlefield, right? While the Warrior genre is like killing 100 people at once as one person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think these things go together. It's like peanut butter and tuna fish.
Yeah, that's gross. Referring to the game and the tuna fish. Yeah, I did want to. Rick points out that I guess they did that in the first Suicide Squad, where they put an explosive in them. But I didn't want to belabor that point because you haven't seen it, and yeah, and you don't plan on seeing it. But yeah, most of the well, I mean, if you have a Switch, you can go look in the eShop. But most of the games are like 30 to some of them are up to 50% off, like Zelda Breath of the Wild, Link's Awakening, Skyward Sword. Luigi's Mansion 2 is $20 off. Typical, nothing spectacular, but although the Bayonetta 3 I guess was $90, including I guess DLC, and it's on sale for $60.
Okay. I didn't even realize Bayonetta 3 had DLC. If you include it, it's like $90 makes sense. If it didn't have DLC, I'd be like, $90 for Bayonetta 3? What the fuck?
Oh, you know what it is? No, it's not DLC. It's a collector's edition. So it's a physical collector's edition.
Yeah, that's fine. Collector's editions can be worth that much.
Yeah. Which is it's 30. It's actually 33% off on Amazon.
Yeah.
I
If
don't
you
think
said
I want
70
those.
for a normal game, I'm like, okay, some retail
Yeah.
games are already getting to 70. We have to accept that. But like 90, I was about to like, Nintendo, let's be real here.
Mm-hmm. You know what's weird is that this article that I'm looking at on GameSpot these aren't actually like on the eShop. It has links to various different websites. So whether some of them are on BestBuy.com, some of them are on Amazon. I don't know. If you care, I will put it in the chat. But to see the various Switch deals, you can also get a 3DO or sorry, an 8-bit DO wireless controller for half off or
that
40% off.
Way better than getting a 3DO. Which if they started making those again, I would be completely confused.
Yeah, not a 3DO. Although that was a pretty cool system.
It was somehow both ahead and behind of its time at the same time.
Yeah. What is it? Ultimate 8-bit DO Ultimate Bluetooth controller. What's so ultimate about it? Doesn't even looks weird.
I think it's because it comes with a charging dock.
Oh, I see. And you can get, which is also on that link I just put in there, you can get a Switch OLED with free Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. If you care.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, that's got to be the worst bundle. Next to Mario Kart. Mario Kart can probably be the only bundle worse than that. Because if you don't own a Switch, if you're a new Switch owner, which is very few of those that are interested in getting a Switch, then yes, that would be fine. Because that's a game like everybody wants. If you already own a Switch and you're trying to upgrade to the OLED, everybody already owns Mario Kart and Smash Brothers.
Yeah. The only reason I don't is because mine were stolen, and I didn't care enough to buy it a second time. I had a physical version of Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
And
I don't own it, but I don't need to. Because I owned it
love
on
to play it, but
Wii U, and we have a copy here. So, like, I don't need to personally own it. I could just use a copy, but, yeah.
Yeah, I could just download a copy from somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure if I
It's
really
like I have a
much.
digital copy of Smash Brothers in my system that never ever leaves it. So it's like that's like the worst bundle. You give me a bundle for a game that you want to hype up, inflate the sales of one of your games that you don't think. Do a Pikmin 4 bundle.
Or what's the upcoming 1,000-Year Door?
Yeah,
I want to get
I'll
1,000-Year
take
Door.
a bundle for that. Because I want the game. Maybe you'd actually give me a reason to upgrade from my classic Switch to an OLED.
Yeah. I hate this tendency because they're doing the same damn thing with the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
The upgraded Steam Deck, all it is the OLED screen. Why didn't they put that screen on the thing to begin with?
Yeah, Nintendo I get. Because of when the Switch came out and they hadn't started
7
messing
years
around
ago.
with it or anything. But the Steam Deck, like, people had already... OLEDs were in every phone already. Like, there's no reason they shouldn't have been messing around with that.
This kind of makes me mad that the one I have doesn't have an OLED screen now. Like, now that that's an option.
They should, to apologize for that, they should let you send yours in and give you the new one at just the cost difference.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Totally would. Totally would.
Yeah.
I guess I could sell mine.
Yeah.
I don't care that much. Yeah, what am I going to get for a non-OLED Steam Deck? Rick is asking what the movie is this week in the Discord, I guess.
I have not planned that, especially because movie night might have to be bumped to Friday anyway, given that here in the States, Thursday is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And my family eats pretty late on average. I mean, we ate decently early today, I guess like 5:30 or something, but a lot of times we don't eat until like 7, 8 o'clock, right? So I might even still be in dinner by the time I should start setting up for the movie. Trying to think, what would be a good Thanksgiving movie for Black Friday? I was doing themes of like
oh,
American history this month.
how do you get like where can you get movies? Like, does it have to be something you own or what?
Oh, I'll own it.
You'll figure it out. Okay. Oh, I'll tell you a good movie, a good Christmas movie, if you're interested in a Christmas movie.
No, Christmas is next month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what I was gonna say was, what was that movie with the Santa that like kills everyone?
Violent Night.
It's
It
really
is
good.
on the list.
Violent Night.
It is already
Okay,
on the
good.
list. Yes. With David
Highly
Harbour.
recommend it. I saw that in the theaters with my mother, and we both loved it. We thought it was hilarious. It was really good. Rated R.
That one's on the list. We're going to be watching an Adam Sandler film as well because both nights of Hanukkah
Tradition.
happen to fall on Thursday, but the first and last since it's 8 days,
Oh,
right?
Neat.
So I think we were going to do it for first night. We could do it for first. I forgot. I was going to talk to some people to see because somebody's that wanted to watch it won't be available on one of the nights. But I think for the first night we might be watching Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights.
of course.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know the whole Christmas schedule yet.
Okay. Well, before we go, because we are out of time, I did want to, and obviously, have fun, searching online. It's funny that, like, how we used to have Cyber Monday, right?
Yeah.
But it's like Black Friday is now Cyber Black Friday. I mean, everyone buys everything
we were saying
online
earlier,
anyway.
it's the whole fucking weekend, the week before.
Yeah.
It's
Plus, you can get this shit now. It's not Friday yet, but it's out. Anyway, one thing I noticed, and thank you to Yellow Flash actually for pointing this out, is that there's a bunch of arcade one-up machines on Amazon on sale right now.
Yeah.
And one of them, if you're interested in NBA Jam, which is what Yellow Flash had bought.
Oh, that's a great one. It also comes with NFL Blitz of the same year.
Oh, I actually didn't even click on it, but it's $99. Now it's just a little one that you have to put on a desk. It's like that tall.
Oh, it's the bar one, right? Where you
Yeah.
They even say it's like a bar sized or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the small. It's a tabletop. It's not the full size, but yeah, NBA Jam Tournament, and NBA Jam Hang Time. Those are actually the 3 games on it. But so I noticed I was like $99. What else can I get for $99? Turns out nothing.
Yeah.
But
they're pretty expensive. Like normally you're spending
Yeah.
like $300 for one of them. Some of them get even more.
Yeah, that one's normally $230, but everything is on sale, so you can get ones that are normally $700. Like which one is this? The Miss Pac-Man is normally $500, and that's $400. What was a really good one? There's an X-Men machine that is normally $700. That's on sale for $284. But yeah, if you go to Amazon and search for arcade one-up, there's like 24 of them on sale. What was the one that I said of yours that I really wanted the most? I feel like it was maybe the Mortal Kombat one.
The Mortal Kombat probably had the most number of games on it that you liked. The other one, God, I'm trying to remember the name of the game. It's an Atari cabinet. Vortex.
I mean, I like the one.
It might
with
be the
Crystal
Vortex.
Castles.
The Crystal Castle was in the Vortex machine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Vortex is or Tempest. Tempest is it? It was the Tempest machine. That's the name of it.
There you go.
It was the
Yeah.
Tempest. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Tempest
I
is
don't
the
think
main
they have
game
either
that
of those.
uses the roller. It's also got
Right.
like Centipede and Millipede on it as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, that one's not on here for sale. But the Mortal Kombat 2 one, which looks a little bit less compelling than the Mortal Kombat 1, but yeah, it's like $400 off.
So that's what we have is Mortal Kombat 2. It just happened.
Oh.
2 is the main game that it's displaying. It has 1 and 3 on it as well. It's got Root Beer Tapper It's got.
Oh yeah, here you go. You're right.
Yeah.
Tubin, Rampage,
Yeah, Tubin's fun. It's got Rampage. Yeah.
Joust, and Defender. I like both of those too.
It's a good machine.
I like all these games.
I think it actually has one of my favorite games on there is Tower of Druaga, is I believe on that one.
Oh. Now this one actually, the one that's for sale is the cocktail one, like the sit down, not the stand up one.
Yeah, yeah.
But it has all the same games, so that's cool.
Those ones are some of the best
$285.
deals
That's
because they
tempting.
just come with a bunch of games. Like some of the cooler ones are actually worse deals because they have like less games on there. For example, The Simpsons, really cool machine, right? Because it's the Simpsons beat 'em up game. But the only other game that's on it, which you played, was The Simpsons Bowling, right? And it's like it's only 2 games. Or the Killer Instinct machine, great, and it's got a lot of games. But the games are the original Killer Instinct, Killer Instinct 2, and like every version of Battletoads. And it's like, oh, that's cool, but that's really only like having 2 games on there.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, yeah, if you're interested, then now's a good time to take a look and see what's for sale.
Yeah, I just have to make sure my brother doesn't find out about that.
You've got
He's got enough.
Jeez.
Yeah, but you know, he wants more. What we really need is a shooter. That's like the one thing we're really missing. And for the longest time, Big
with
Buck
actual
Hunter,
light guns?
Yeah, Big Buck Hunter was like the only one that was out. But they've added some more since. I think Terminator 2 Judgment Day has a machine that you can get, or it's on the block. I don't remember. But there's also, I believe, an original Time Crisis that's supposedly going to have House of the Dead one on it too. And House of the Dead is my favorite arcade shooter, so we probably can't ignore that one.
Oh, here it is. It's actually the stand-up. Now this one says Mortal Kombat 1.
I'm sure there might
But
be
it
one,
has
but
all
we
the
have
same-
2. Yeah. It's just,
Right.
it's the display, right? So ours is
Yeah,
a 2 display.
it's all the same games.
Yeah.
And this one has Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 on it.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's
Yeah,
something
well,
they're
that's-
starting
yours-
to do more
yours
as
is that.
well. Is at first they would only do 1 per unit, but now they're basically starting to sell like the equivalent of a variant cover. You can get the different displays that would have
Yeah.
been on that cabinet, so you can actually choose the one you want.
okay. Well, this one is for sale. It's no, it's more than the sit-down one, but it's
Yeah.
$360 when it's normally $500. So.
By far the coolest one we have is the Killer Instinct one. Like, especially with the lights low and all the blue glowing from it, it is the coolest looking machine that we have.
Yeah, I just don't like Killer Instinct, the
Yeah.
game.
But it's got Battletoads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could just play that on my
Yeah.
my NES Mini or something.
Trying to think, do we have another
But-
cool one? I mean, I guess The Simpsons also looks cool. All of them are cool. The Street Fighter machine is cooler than the Killer Instinct machine if you count like what's on it and stuff. And it looks better than the Mortal
Do you have
Kombat.
one that has? Do you have the X-Men game?
No.
X-Men.
And the X-Men one's about as big as The Simpsons. It's, as far as I know, it's
Yeah.
only 4-player. They don't have it up to the 6-player X-Men. Like I think 4-player is the biggest their cabinets go. But we have a Simpsons, so it's like the same size. X-Men wasn't out yet. We probably would have gotten that one over The Simpsons.
Actually, I feel like I saw that
I like
somewhere.
playing
Well,
Colossus.
yeah. X-Men 4-player is on sale. And it's still $450, so not much of a sale. But that's down from $750. So yeah,
Yeah, that's a pretty big
$300
sale.
off. Yeah, that's pretty good. X-Men, what does that come with? Let me see. Maybe it only comes with X-Men.
That was the disappointing part of The Simpsons. Like, at least
I
it did
guess
come
so.
with a other game, but it was just The Simpsons Bowling, which was a
Yeah.
game that also existed in some Simpsons machines. So they just kind of put it in there because it was already in a version of the Simpsons beat 'em up machine.
Yeah. It looks like oh wait. What is remote play? Unlimited retro arcade.
Well,
says it has.
some games have online play. Like, you can actually hook it up to your internet and play with other people at the cabinet. That might be what they're talking about.
Oh, yeah. It says you can play with other people that have the same cabinet.
Yeah,
but this one
Simpsons
has.
has it too.
Oh, cool. This one has the X-Men arcade game, Captain America and the Avengers, which I've never played before. And that's it. Just those two. So.
See, that's stupid. You don't even want that. What you needed, if you wanted to only have two games in there, you wanted X-Men Arcade, and then use the middle two controllers, or I guess maybe in the far two, just so they're further apart from each other, bumping shoulders. But you want to have two of the controllers set up to play the original Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter game, the one that would eventually become Marvel versus Capcom as the series goes on. Because they are doing an MVC machine that I think has 1 and 2 in it, but that, like, the original Marvel superheroes would be great to put with the X-Men arcade cabinet. That's what they should have done.
Rick is asking for a link. Let me just give me 1 second. But you can go on Amazon and just search for Arcade 1-Up, but I'll give you the direct link.
Or even Google. I'm sure most of their sales, if they're doing it with Amazon, is probably on their site as well.
Yeah. But here is the Mortal Kombat with 14 games. There's the link for you. That's actually really tempting.
That's a long-ass link. It's probably going to get cut off on YouTube, but that's fine. If you need to click on it, you can always go into the Discord, to the live stream chat, and any link is clickable from there.
Yeah, I can fix
Which is another shout-out to join our Discord. Links in the description below. Or on the Twitter. I make sure it's available multiple places.
Yeah, hold on. I don't know why Amazon does this, but you can take off like most of the stupid link.
Because most of it's your referrer link.
Yeah, here. That might look better. There you go.
But yeah, that's kind of it for the show. Unless you
Yeah.
got something else real quick.
No, I mostly wanted to make sure I got in the Arcade 1-Up sale that's going on right now.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you all for watching. Reminder, buy my merch. You can find it most places. Zava shirt is going on until the 15th. But you can always get like my comics and books and stuff at any time. If you enjoy the show.
I was going to say happy Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, happy Thanksgiving, since we won't see you guys until after. I guess happy Black Friday too. Don't get yourself killed. If you enjoy the show, please share it out with other people. Grow the audience. It's what matters the most. Get more people in here. And if you really enjoy the show, if you're not buying my merch, consider giving a donation to streamlabs.com/Vomitorium Live. Really helps us out. You get to see a little pop-up happen on the screen. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye-bye.